Okay, welcome to the calculator video to accompany Handout 4 for probability. So this is from the counting section when we're using permutations and combinations. I want to first show you where these are in your calculator. So if you go into the math menu, you can see that there are a lot of commands. The first one is that to_frac command. That makes a decimal into a fraction if the calculator can do it. I'm going to go over to PRB, there's our probability option, and I'm going to go down to NPR and NCR. Notice that I need to have entered the N first, so I'm going to quit. Second mode, quits, takes me back to the home screen. I'm going to put in 210. Then I'm going to go back to the math menu. I'm going to go over to probability. I'm going to go down to NPR and press enter. So I have 210 NPR and then 3, and I'm going to press enter, and out pops exactly what we got in the video. So the next question was 210C3, so I'm going to enter 210. I'm going to go to the math menu, over to probability, down to NCR for a combination, and then enter 3. Press enter again, and 1,521,520. A lot smaller, but still fairly large. The next question was 19, choose 5. So I'm going to enter the 19. I'm going to go into the math menu, over to probability, down to NCR, press enter, and then 5. Enter again, and the 11,628 that we got. The 5 factorial comes out of the math menu as well. So I'm going to press 5, go into the math menu, over to probability, down to the factorial symbol, press enter, it's loaded 5 factorial, press enter again, and I get 120. And as we pointed out in the lesson itself, that's the same as 5p5, so let's check that. 5, math, over to probability, down to NPR, press enter, another 5, enter, and 120. The next example was 8C3, so I'm going to put in the 8, go to the math menu, over to probability, down to combinations, choose 3, press enter again, and we get 56. The next one was 7, choose 3, so math, over to probability, down to combination, press enter, enter a 3, press enter again, get 35. 8, choose 3 was the next one, so I enter an 8, go into the math menu, over to probability, down to NCR, press enter, load the 3, press enter again, 56. And the last for that page was 7p3. So I'm going to load the 7, go into the math menu, over to probability, down to permutations, press enter, put in the 3, press enter again, and out comes 210. On the next page, we have a whole list of combinations. So the first is 7, choose 0. So 7, we're flipping a coin 7 times. We want to know how many ways there can be 0 tails. So just math, over to probability, down to combinations, press enter, enter a 0, press enter again, and of course there's one way, and that's if they're all heads. Okay, at this point, let me show you a shortcut that prevents you from having to go back into menus if something on the screen is very similar to what you want. The next thing that I want is 7, choose 1. And I have something very similar. If I press second and then enter, I actually get the previous entry. I can then go backwards and make that 1, or make that 0 into a 1, press enter, and I can more quickly get a whole list of very similar commands. I'm going to do that again. Second, enter, I'm going to backspace 1, make the 1 into a 2, press enter again. Second, enter, backspace 1, make the 2 into a 3, enter. Second, enter, backspace 1, make the 3 into a 4, enter. And we can start to see that there's the symmetry here, because really 4 heads among 7 tosses is the same thing as 3 tails among 7 tosses. So these are essentially the same question with the same answer. Let's continue in this way. Second, enter. Go back, make that 4 into a 5. Press enter. We saw the 21 earlier. Second, enter. Go back 1, make the 5 into a 6. Enter. And then last but not least, there's one way that we can have 7 tails among 7 tosses, and that's if they're all tails. There's some exponentiation as well in this assessment. So in fact, the very last question is 2 raised to the 15th power. So on our calculator, that's the caret key where the cursor is right now, also the pi key right below clear. When I press it, it raises it up, and I now enter 15. To get out of the exponent, just like in my Open Math and MathQuill, I have to arrow to the right, or I stay in the exponent, and then I subtract 1 and press enter. And there's the 32,767 that we got in class.